The government is shutting down. So now what? And just how bad will it be for so many Americans who either work for the federal government or rely on government services? And what will it take to get out of it? Democrats have a series of demands that they say must be met before they vote for a bill to open the government. They want to extend expiring subsidies under the Obamacare program. They also want to reverse Medicaid cuts that were included as part of President Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill Act. And they want some provisions or some reassurances that Donald Trump won't cut federal spending without the consent of Congress. But Senate Majority Leader John Thune told me that he will not negotiate with Democrats until they reopen the government first.
The negotiation happens when the government's open. So let's keep the government open, and then we will have the negotiation. I've said it. I've said it yesterday at the meeting in the White House. I've said it to my Democrat colleagues.
Thune's plan put his bill for a straight extension of government funding for 7 weeks on the floor of the United States Senate again and again, and hope that Democrats ultimately cave. That means that Thune will need 8 Senate Democrats to agree to his bill in order to get it passed. But Democrats say health care must be addressed first before they agree to reopen the government. The last government shutdown occurred more than 6 years ago, and that lasted 35 days. Will this one last longer? The bill failed 55 to 45, meaning that Republicans need to pick up 5 more senators in order to break a filibuster. Just 3 Democrats voted for it.
Okay, so very quickly, it's Saturday morning, so parts of this video may be out of time sequence. But I want to get this out of the way as quickly as possible. So even with the government shutdown, the Dow is at 46,758. The reason why the Dow still typically can rise even during a government shutdown, even when there's a government shutdown, the Dow, the S&P 500, the reason why those things can rise is because the investors actually know that it's not going to last forever, and therefore they take advantage of the market by investing in it, even when normally you would think that this is a time you shouldn't be investing or holding on to your money. The government services for the federal government may be paused in some cases, because keep in mind, the entire federal government doesn't shut down. ICE is still working, the national defense contractors are still working, so forth and so on. But what it ultimately means is that it's basically kind of like futures trading. These people know the government shutdown's not going to last forever, so they continue to invest. Now, as you can see, gold, $3,908. So gold is considerably up. If you bought gold during COVID, you're easily damn near double your money, at least. But the way I see it, because gold does not pay a dividend, all you're really doing is holding on to the value of the money that you put in when you put that money in. So I'm not a crazy gold person. I'm not a gold hawk. I keep gold just as an economic indicator, we'll say, because there's some people who would argue that even though you're making good money in the stock market, even though you're getting paid dividends, some people would argue that because the value of the dollar may have decreased, that you're actually not winning, even though it looks like you're winning due to inflation. My thing is, as long as I can pay for the stuff that I want, and as long as I can buy the things I want, and as long as I got this ceiling fan right here above my head, and I can continue to fund my properties, I just don't have time for the deeper thinking. I understand that the value of the money is going down because of government printing. I understand that lowering interest rates is a bad thing. I understand why. I understand inflation is a bad thing. It's a tax on our money. It's a tax on us. I totally understand all that. My thing is, it's like buying these stocks, getting these dividends, having these dividends being able to come in every single month. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm focused on. So supposedly, GM and Ford rallied simply because of they're getting a they're getting a relief from the tariff. So it says GM stock surges 33% amid U.S. tariff relief talk, What does that mean for valuation? So you can read that story yourself. So the auto companies, I'm not worried about GM. GM is part of the military industrial complex. As you saw during COVID, none of our factories basically shut down. They switched to making PPE. GM and Ford specifically switched to making PPE. So that just shows you that even if there's a catastrophe, even if there's an entire nationwide shutdown, the factories will always be running one way or another. And see, one of the things you got to understand when you play chess and you watch your enemies move, they always make basically the same exact move and they always move the same way. So if they showed us during COVID that even the factories weren't immune to being open and working and doing something, even if it wasn't making cars, that just shows you that the government, there's certain services that the government will not allow to go out. Obama bailed out the auto industry, despite the fact that all these crazy-ass Republicans, oh yeah, they let him go into bankruptcy, And I understand that they were thinking, okay, yeah, they'll go into bankruptcy and they'll restructure. But ultimately, some of these companies may go into bankruptcy and not come out. Some of them, they may end up getting sold off due to hedge funds chopping them up, and you have corporate raiders chopping them up. So sometimes bankruptcy can completely wipe a place out. Look at Toys R Us. Toys R Us did their restructuring. Now, a Toys R Us is nothing more than the toy department of a Macy's now. Or you have to go to other countries just to see a Toys R Us, and it's just a little small regular toy store that has the Toys R Us name. So some companies are better for it, some companies aren't. My point is the government was never going to allow them to go under simply because they represent too many factories. And those factories, as you've seen, those are essential organizations, those are essential services, just in case there's a national emergency. I mean, you think about it. If we did go to World War III, who do you think is building all them tanks? Who do you think is building all the planes? GM can't be allowed to go out. If necessary, GM would be the factory still running, and they'd be building planes, bombs, and bullets and whatnot, just like in World War II. Because even with those defense contractors, a lot of them, their factories are not big enough to build things to massive scale. But if you had like a world war and you suddenly needed to build planes, massive scale planes, well, guess what? Those factories, they're going to be open. Or maybe you just need them for bulletproof vests. Or maybe you just need them to build helmets or suits or whatever it is, fireproof suits. The bottom line is the factories don't go anywhere. And GM is just one example of that. The other example that I've continued to offer you is Intel and Micron. Intel and Micron are the government betting on the possibility that if China were to invade Taiwan, they don't want China controlling the chips market. Now, I always personally believe that the reason why Intel started falling down was mostly because of the Israel-Gaza conflict. Now, America is just forming new pacts with Intel. They're trying to get Intel and NVIDIA to work together to make integrated GPUs and stuff into their processors. Bottom line is, I knew Intel wasn't going to go out. I knew it wasn't going to go bankrupt and disappear. I knew the government was going to step in. That's the reason why I bought Intel. And you know what's funny? You don't really need to be an insider trader to figure this shit out. All you got to do is really pay attention to the news. It's just like with NVIDIA. I was betting on NVIDIA. Oh, Nancy Pelosi's getting on a plane to go over there and do some insider trading. Oh, shit, I guess I should buy NVIDIA. You know, it's not that complicated. But the problem is nobody pays attention to what these people do. That's the problem. It's like sometimes you get into a situation where as soon as a person's name pops up, you turn the television off because you just don't want to hear it. That's not me. I'm willing to listen and I'm willing to find out what they're doing. Like people like Major Taylor Greene and Christy Noem, and those people don't scare me. But I'd like to know what they're spending their money on. I'd like to know if they're spending their money. I'd like to know what they're doing. There are websites that track Congress people. There are websites that track business people. Yeah, those are the kind of things you should kind of pay attention to. Why do you think Elon Musk was willing to pay these bastard kids so much to stop tracking his planes? Why do you think? He doesn't want nobody knowing what he's doing. He doesn't want nobody knowing where he's going. He don't show that shit. You don't want nobody knowing where he's going, if he's planning to buy something. It's just like in that movie Wall Street, when Gordon Gekko had Bud Fox follow that Australian business tycoon around. What did he do? Oh, he's buying Anaconda Steel. Oh, yeah? Well, we're going to buy Anaconda Steel. Let's buy all of it up. And now the guy has to come to Gordon Gekko. He has to try to buy it back. That's what I'm talking about. You got to pay attention to these people. All you got to do is watch these people. That's why I call it Market Watch, because we watching these people. We watching them. Got to keep your eyes right on them. Bitcoin's 122,000. XRP is still not above $3.50. Like, I thought by now that all the hype and all the talk, they would have pushed XRP to $4. It looks like if XRP ever gets to $4, it's going to be a long time. Ethereum dropped below 4,000 and then it jumped right back to 4,500. A crypto winter is coming eventually. I don't know when. We haven't hit winter itself yet, but crypto winter is coming eventually. The crypto market does not move like the gold market does. The crypto market moves more like the Dow moves. When the Dow goes down, the crypto market tends to go down with it. My thing is, none of this shit pays dividends, so I'm not interested. It's just I'm not interested. There are ways to buy indexes that invest in crypto and still manage to pay an index. There are ways to stay crypto. I'm not interested in that bullshit. The U.S. government is playing games, and they're trying to buy. Trump, I should pull up that story. Trump claimed that he's going to buy 1 million Bitcoin. That just tells me that, nah, you should worry about that shit. Let's see. It says crypto stockpiling craze. They got Trump's picture. Oh, okay, it's an Apple story. I can't read that. But Trump claimed that he's going to buy 1 million Bitcoin. I don't like that. The government ain't supposed to be doing that, because what the government would be doing is they're picking a cryptocurrency to be the winner. Russia has accused the United States for trying to manipulate cryptocurrency in order to offload the U.S. national debt. I don't trust this stuff. I'm sorry. So if you want it, you go buy it. You go buy it. And I'll tell you what, when you're so rich that you finally get your Bitcoin Lamborghini, we'll meet up and you can bring me your Bitcoin Lamborghini. You could, and I'll even do a full expose, and you could talk about how much Bitcoin you got. You could talk about how you got your Bitcoin Lamborghini. Something tells me I'm going to be waiting a while for that. Something tells me a long time. A long time. So anyway, there are plenty of other stocks to invest in, specifically banks and oil. Banks and oil, credit cards, banks and oil. I kind of count the credit cards just as I count the banks. But the reason why I still believe in oil is because home heating oil, the companies that make most of these oil discoveries and mining, they're still responsible for producing home heating oil. They still are feeding gasoline trucks and gasoline locomotives, or I should say diesel locomotives, diesel trucks. But there are gasoline trucks out there. So they're still responsible for giving us crude. They're still responsible for giving us diesel. They're still responsible for giving us kerosene. They're still responsible for giving us jet fuel. I love jet fuel. Jet fuel is the best. It's the best thing in the world. I love jet fuel. Jet fuel is so beautiful and it's delicious. You know, it's like we need those things. We can't get rid of those. There's no way we can move away from those things right now. Not until in the future, if we ever have like fusion power or something, which is not going to happen anytime soon. But the reality is you need those fossil fuels because, yes, a lot of people are buying electric vehicles, but there's still going to be a lot of people who do not make that switch. So, yes, oil and gas are still going to continue to be necessary. As far as my credit cards go, I've been telling y'all about these credit cards for months. As we've gotten... Watch what happens during Christmas. What do you think happens to the credit card stocks during Christmas? They all go up. American Express just released... What is this? Let's look at it just over the year. American Express just released this new Amex Platinum card. They raised the price to $8.95. It used to be $6.95. They raised it to $8.95. People are still getting it. They still try to get that card because they're trying to flex on everybody else. They said, yeah, well, I got the Amex Platinum card. And then they want to plunk it down and click. And it's like, you're not flexing. All you're doing is going deeper into debt by buying whatever you're buying. You're not flexing on anybody. You might as well have just taken out a purchase order. It doesn't make any sense. But bottom line, they're doing well. And that's all I'm looking for. All I want them to do is keep making me this dividend, this 0.53% dividend on every share I have, this 0.68% dividend on every share I have. That's all I need them to do. And that's the thing. Goldman Sachs, this 2.05 dividend. Right now, Goldman Sachs is $7.89. So I've noticed Meta and Goldman Sachs did peel back just a little bit. But my thing is, you might as well, if you were interested in either, and I hate saying this because you know I hate Zuckerberg, you might as well dollar cost average your way in. Basically what that means is don't worry about how much it costs, just buy it. That's basically what dollar cost averaging is. It's like you keep on buying into the stock to keep on buying more shares. You don't really think about whether the price goes up or down, but the belief is that ultimately the price is going to keep on going up. So, in long story short, it's like, just keep giving it money. That's what they're basically saying. Just keep feeding it money. Like a piggy bank. Just keep feeding it money. So, my thing is, there's not really a lot to talk about because, for the most part, the stock market appears to be up because the stocks that are tracked are mostly trillion-dollar companies. So the whole rest of the stock market, the other 50% of its valuation, they're not really doing a lot. Some of them are moving up slowly, but for the most part, they're not really doing a lot. So those aren't the ones we really talk about. It's like I told you to buy into that Coca-Cola stock split. Coca-Cola does pay a dividend, so your money will sit there. But for the most part, the Coca-Cola rise in value, it took years. Sometimes you have to be willing to wait years. And my thing is, I have a decade-long plan until retirement. And with that decade-long plan, I'm willing to wait before, I start to realize those gains by cashing out. I might not even have to cash out. Between my pension, my properties, my Social Security and whatnot, I might not even have to cash my stocks out. I could just keep on taking dividends and reinvesting. And then when, I could leave it to my kids. I could say, you know what? You're going to take the stock portfolio. I'm going to put this on your name. And I'm dying and I'm going to die. And Simba, it's like now you've got the stock portfolio. So I'm Mufasa and I'm dying and now this is all yours, right? That's what it is. And that's kind of the way it's supposed to be. When my grandfather left, he left his children, my parents, my father, he left him something. And then what did my father do? My father left it to me. So yeah, that's kind of how this is supposed to work. See, these people, the last thing I'm going to say, these people who are in generational poverty, they don't seem to understand the hatred that men have generated towards feminism. And we have a right to have that hatred because the reality is women don't build anything. Men build. Men have children with women. Women help men build. Men leave their name and they leave a lot of wealth behind. Not so some dummy can go spend it up, no, but so that you can continue to grow it into the next generation. I don't know if it's just liberal feminism or if it's capitalism or both. But if you go to these third world countries, I shouldn't even say that, I should say developing nations, and you look at how some of these families are able to escape poverty by not spending up their last dime. What they do is they save money generation by generation, even if they have to live with one pair of shoes and they got to live foot to mouth. They save money generation by generation by not spending it all up. Come to America, what do you see? People spending top dollar on cell phones. People spending top dollar on sneakers and shoes and shit to have a closet full of bullshit shoes, Gucci, Prada, Femi. People spend all their money to buy used German cars, trying to make other people think they're rich. They're not. And there's no generational wealth transfer. Right now, one of the big stories is that they know that there's going to be a huge generational wealth transfer as these baby boomers die off and leave their property to the millennials. But these corporations and these other unscrupulous individuals, they are ready. They are ready for that generational transfer of wealth, and they are going to get as much of it as they can. They got their hands out and they got their mouths wide open and they're waiting for it. A lot of these younger millennials, they're my age, there's millennials my age, their parents are going to leave them property and they're not even going to be able to afford to keep it. And what they're going to do is they're going to refinance it. They're going to take cash out. They're going to spend up that cash. They're going to go on lavish vacations. Next thing you know, that house is going to be in foreclosure, and what their parents worked for is going to disappear. I've seen it at least 3 times. I've told this story before. My old block, for instance, one of my neighbors, his wife died. He started to get older. He had a reverse mortgage or something on his house. He bought washing machine, dryer on the first floor to make it easier for himself. He bought brand new kitchen appliances. And when he died, his daughter couldn't take the place over. I have no idea where the daughter is now. The daughter was a single mom. I think she had 2 kids, single mom. She couldn't take the place over. She couldn't take the place over because she couldn't afford it. Didn't have enough job to take the place over. Her brothers had moved out of state, moved away. She couldn't take the place over. Place was, it hurts me just to look at that place because these goddamn foreigners, these freaking horrible goddamn foreigners bought the place and they ruined it. Like they made it look terrible. Instead of keeping the character of the house, they turned it into like a 2 or 3 family monstrosity. And I'll never forgive them for that. But what are you going to do? Ultimately, all of my city, New York City, all of it will probably end up looking just like in the Judge Dredd movies where you got Mega City 1. So all of the houses will be swept away. There will be no more character. There will be no more houses. It'll all be glass and steel buildings designed to hold as many people as possible. It'll be like peach trees. I see that coming because when the sci-fi movies come on, I believe everything they say. Like, if they say that this is going to happen, I assume it's going to happen sooner or later. And it looks like that's exactly what's happened. They call it gentrification. So they're going to have Mega City 1. You're going to have peach trees. You're going to have these huge buildings with a lot of people in it. Most of them are poor. That was the other thing in Judge Dredd movies. Most of the people were unemployed. That's why crime was so high. It's because after a while, there's nothing for you to do. AI, they had robots and shit. The robots were doing a lot of the work. So, of course, people were unemployed. There was nothing to do. But the bottom line is, it's like in the short term, these people are destroying their intergenerational wealth. And that's why they can't maintain anything. So, as far as me, when I go over there to Southeast Asia and I decide to settle down, retired, I got me a nice young 20-year-old Filipina or Thai or whatever it is, have my children. And I know the first thing you're going to say is don't bring her back. Don't worry, she ain't coming back here because to tell you the truth, I might not come back here. So bottom line is, go have my children. Hey, kid, guess what? You know what I bought you for your birthday? I bought you some stock. Here's some stock. Yeah, I might get you a little toy, but here's some stock. Oh, yeah, you can't sell that until, like, you're 18, so don't worry. Don't even look at it. Oh, you know what I bought you, kid, for your birthday? I bought you some gold. Yeah, but don't worry. You can't do anything with this until you're 18, so don't even look at it. Don't look at it. But yeah, that's what you got to do, because you got to prepare for the uncertain future. You got no choice, especially with leaders like we got now. These people are crazy. Like, I honestly don't think the government's going to survive. I mean, for God's sake, it's shut down right now. Shit, it probably can't survive. Not with these crazy assholes in there. So that's all I had to say. But I'm going to keep on doing my same strategy. Banks, oil, credit cards. I'm holding everything. I'm not panic selling nothing. If I put that money in the stock market, it's going to stay there. I'm not panic selling nothing. It's just going to stay right there, and it's going to keep on making me dividends. And that's it.
Oh, look at this. You don't see this every day. So this guy right here, he's got the wrapped Cybertruck. Got the wrap on it. That is too goddamn loud. Just leaving the mall. Going to meet with some friends. We're going to go to the Italian restaurant out here. Not far from the mall. One of my favorite restaurants. It's like if you ever decide to if you're like around Roosevelt Field and you've never been to this restaurant and you want some really good Italian food, you come here, you tell them I sent you. It's called Passion. I think, yeah, it's Passione. Passione, I think they pronounce it Passione. This is another good restaurant over here, Grand Lux, but I really don't go there. I used to go here to this Indian restaurant, The Mint. That was fun. I always liked that place, but then they took away the buffet. I was like, yeah, I'm not coming back. I like the buffet because when you go to the Indian buffet, it's like you can get exactly what you want. You can pick and choose what you want. And by the time you leave, your stomach's on fire. I should be... Let this guy go. What the fuck? Alright, let's see. If I'm not mistaken, I'm supposed to be over here. Yeah, I'm supposed to be over here. I believe I'm supposed to be over here. Yes. That's right, I'm supposed to be over here. That's right. We're good. Yeah. I just find it amazing. It's only 4 o'clock. And all of these people are here. It's a Tuesday. It's like, y'all are shopping. Are y'all really shopping this hard on a Tuesday? I don't think this is a no turn, so I think I can actually do the turn right here. Yeah, this is not a no turn. I just have to wait until I don't get hit. Yeah, I don't want to get freaking slammed into by one of these jackasses. I was trying to make a turn into the mall from that point right there, and I actually saw a car drive up onto the side of a car that was right in front of me. I ain't never seen no shit like that before. It looked like some demolition derby shit. It's crazy. It's amazing what you can see when you're in traffic, you know? Some people like absolutely crash out right in front of you. All right. I think they should be allowing us to... Oh, okay, they're going to let them turn first. A little Chevy Bolt. The Equinox is cool, but I would never buy a Bolt. Never. The Equinox is about as small as I'd go. And even that thing is a big car. That thing is like It's the same size as the Optic. That thing is heavy as hell. It's the batteries car. Yeah, right there. You got the Fogo de Chao. These women trick you, take them on a date. You go to Fogo de Chao. Now you're down like $150 for a meal. This is actually a pretty dangerous intersection right here. They really ought to add a stoplight. Look at this shit. You see, you can't control how fast these guys are coming down there, and there's no stoplight. That's a pretty goddamn dangerous intersection. Oh, I think my favorite friend, the manager, is here. This is it right here. This is some damn good Italian food, let me tell you. Is that him? He doesn't recognize me. He'll see me in a second. Yeah, he'll see me in a second. It's like, hey, yeah, nice to see you. That's him. Yeah. All right. Let's get out, get some food. Don't work so. What the hell? Yeah. It's the manager. Yeah, the manager's right there. He know who I am. What's up? Yeah, I had some friends come in from out of town. I asked, they were like, "Oh, what are we gonna get to eat?" And I was like, "Oh, well, what do you want to eat?" And they're like, "Oh, I don't feel like doing any work," so they didn't want to go to the Korean barbecue. Oh, really? Yeah, oh, okay.
I've just got to make a couple of calls.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Santiago, well, I'll be right in.
That's Santiago right there. Santiago. All right. Yeah. Where everybody knows your name. Yep. That's me. Chicken parm right there. That's veal. All right.
Thank you.
Little scampi out. All right. Yep. There you go. All right. That's the pinot vodka sauce for the linguine, I think. All right.
Hope you guys enjoy. Everything looks good.
Yeah.
Another stick too.
yeah,
One more
that's
stick for you,
nice.
my friend, too.
Oh, yeah. That's nice.
Yeah, I'll take another, yeah.
Sweet?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, look at this. You got this truck right here with a CT5V Blackwing. And it's green. Look at that. And I don't see what's in front of it yet, but I'm getting closer to it. That's interesting. I'm gonna get closer to this thing. Oh, this guy's got pipes, plumbing, heating, air conditioning. 877757 pipe. I bet what he does is he goes over to the lady's house and he lays the pipe every time she has a plumbing problem. Because see, they ain't got no men there to fix the plumbing, so they got to call on Mr. Got Pipes right there. Mr. Got Pipes, come over there. He lays the pipe. All right, let's see. We got this green. This is green CTS. Or CT5V, I should say. All right, what's the other one? It looks like a black one. All right, I'm going to have to get around it. I'm going to get around him. He must know I'm looking at him. He's running. Yeah, we got to call Mr. Got Pipes. See, this is what happens, ladies. You ain't got no man in the house. You don't have a man. He's not trained to do anything. Or either that, or you got no man at all. So, what happens when something breaks? You know what you got to do? You got to call a man to fix that shit. If your car breaks down, who you calling? You calling a man. Pipes break down, who you calling? You calling a man. Where are all the women plumbers? Where are all the women tow truck drivers to hitch up these black wings? Look at that thing. Is that a CT? Yeah, I think these are all CT5s. Wow, those are nice. I would never buy one of those, though. I know some people would probably, oh yeah, you should buy a CT5 instead of a Lyric. No, fuck that. Yeah. Too many issues with these cars in general. It's like you got gas, oil, oxygen sensors, all that shit. It's like I don't feel like dealing with that. I just don't feel like dealing with it. I haven't had to change no oil. I haven't had to do no oxygen sensor. There's another one. I haven't had to do any of that typical car maintenance stuff with this car. The only thing I'm going to have to do is at 30,000 miles, I'm going to have to buy tires, which is pretty much normal for a performance car of any type. But this is the longest I've ever gone without having to buy tires. I have never made it 30,000 miles without having to buy tires. Usually I don't make it 10,000 miles without having to buy tires. And what else? Because, the problem with the Jeep and the problem with that Chrysler 300 SRT, those things gave you uneven tire wear, especially the Jeep. The Jeep was a little bit better at tread wearing. The problem was it wore unevenly because of the camber. And it would basically, it was like tilted inside, so on the bottom you got this uneven wear, and then all of a sudden you're seeing belts and threads, and it's like, nah, you can't drive like that. You got to get these things fixed, or you got to get new tires eventually. So yeah, it's probably going to cost me about $2,000, I would think. But it is what it is. I guess basically, what you save not having to do other things, it's like some of that money you got to put back into it. But I'm not disappointed at all. I'm not disappointed at all. So you got to get new tires. The brakes almost never really get used because these cars have regenerative brakes. So yeah, those Blackwings, I never would have bought one of those. What I would have bought was a CT6, because I like the CT6, but I'd like it to have this interior. If I could have gotten a CT6 with this interior, I probably bought that instead of a Lyric. But I've got the Lyric. I don't think the CT6 is coming to America. China's got it. China's got everything. China's got the XT5. China's got the CT6. It's like they get everything. We get nothing. Amazing. Look at all this goddamn traffic. I had some friends come from out of the state, and they saw this traffic. They hadn't been here since like a long time ago, and they saw this traffic. They couldn't believe this shit. They're like, how do people deal with this every day? What's that truck? The truck pulled over. That officer pulled over that truck right there. He's getting out. He's like, yeah, he's checking out the truck. But yeah, this traffic every freaking day. Unbelievable. You basically, I appreciate the fact that this car has adaptive cruise control, because basically what it comes down to is you just get into the center lane and you just let the adaptive cruise control take you where you're going. And you don't really have to push the brake and all that. You don't even have to do that. You just let the adaptive cruise control deal with it. But it does make you, it makes you drive differently. It's more comfortable. So in the news, they were talking about, oh yeah, well, Cadillac's doing so well with their EV sales, and they have like 114% sales and stuff. And I was like, okay, yeah, that's great. That's really, really good. Now that the EV tax credit's over, a lot of these companies, they're trying to figure out ways to keep people buying. So Hyundai is like offering like $10,000 off on Ioniqs, because the problem is they build the things and then they're trying to move them, and they don't want this shit to sit on the lots. But more and more, every single day, I'm seeing more and more electric vehicles. And I was just next to a Lucid Air just a little while ago. So yeah, me and my friends, around the office cooler, we're talking about stocks constantly. So it's like now everybody sees exactly what I was talking about like Micron and Intel. I was talking about that all this morning. I was like, yeah, man, my Micron is doing very well. Intel's doing very well. Obviously, my NVIDIA is just leaps and bounds. It's taking over the whole portfolio. Microsoft is doing well. And that's what it's all about, man. That's what it's all about. Now, somebody would probably try to point out, oh, you didn't talk about Bitcoin. I think the last time I checked Bitcoin, it was up to like 120. 120,000 out of like 124. I think that was the high. But you know what? Knowing what I know, yes, that's what. Don't worry, Snowflake. I got you. You can go right there, Snowflake. She got the little Jetta. Snowflake got the Jetta. Of course, I'm gonna let you go, Snowflake. I'm gonna jump in front of this Ford Escape because I ain't got no respect for them things. But oh, look at this cop right there. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh shit, snowflakes. Oh, you know. Oh, damn it. Look at. See, if I wasn't recording this, I would have ran this light. But I'm not gonna do that. But anyway, what was I saying? I was saying something important. Oh yes, these chips. You got to get the Micron, the Intel. I told y'all a long time ago, Congress was betting on Intel. And only recently did Intel, because Intel was doing well, it was like under $20. And I was like, listen, and I know you probably heard me say it. I was like, yo, listen, Marjorie Taylor Greene is buying Intel. You should be buying Intel. Just like I was saying, Nancy Pelosi's flying over there on some nefarious shit. You should be buying NVIDIA, right? So the U.S. government is betting on these companies because what they're trying to do is trying to hedge the possibility of China trying to take over Taiwan. Now, I don't believe personally that China is trying to take over Taiwan. Now, if they believe it, I'll defer to the U.S. government. However, there's also the possibility that they've conned themselves into believing something that is not going to happen. The Chinese want business as usual. They don't like hiccups in the market. They want things to just keep on going, keep on flowing. They just make their money. What Trump and the Congress did was they basically put these racist sanctions on China to basically say that we don't want NVIDIA selling you chips. We don't want NVIDIA selling you GPUs. Now, the problem is NVIDIA, during COVID, NVIDIA had actually made a version of their card that they could sell to China, and it didn't violate the sanctions. But Donald Trump's presidency this time around has basically doubled down and said, yeah, we don't want you selling China like anything, because China is laughing at me and laughing at my tariffs, so we want to go whole hog against China. Now, I already know China is never going to allow racist American policies to slow them down. What China is going to do is get from under America. Either they will steal designs, copy designs, whatever it takes, but China is ultimately going to use Huawei, and I guarantee you within maybe 3 or 4 years, they're going to leapfrog what NVIDIA is doing right now with the RTX platform of GPUs. Because, see, RTX is now, what is it? They've been using RTX since the 2080 Ti. So that's been damn near 10 years at this point, because they had the 2080 Ti to 30, and then they had the 40, and then now they got the 50 right now. So my guess is Huawei is going to leapfrog NVIDIA, and it's only going to take them like 4 or 5 years. Because if the Chinese government pours money into it, they've already got all the goddamn engineers. They have all the scientists. They have all the engineers they need. All they got to do is put the money into it, and they will absolutely leapfrog NVIDIA. And they most likely have spies already working in Taiwan. And I have no doubt that they're going to leapfrog NVIDIA easily. But it's going to take them probably less than 5 years, I'd give them. So, bottom line is, eventually they won't care about NVIDIA anymore. They're not going to care. What they're going to do is they're going to leapfrog them. And then they'll have their own graphics cards and GPUs. Because you got to understand, most of NVIDIA and their stock performance comes from the fact that they've been getting us basically to buy overpriced GPU cards for like the last 10 years. They've done everything they could to manufacture shortages. That's the one thing I've noticed. Apple, for example, forces you to pre-order if you want to buy an iPhone. When you show up to pick up that iPhone, they're checking your goddamn ID. They're not letting you just, you could speed up, but there's nothing you could do, because if you hit me, I got a Desert Eagle on me. I'll put a hole in you. So anyway, what is it? Yeah, they are. Yeah, now you're going to try to pass me? Go ahead. Drive past as fast as you want, Becky, because I ain't playing that shit. Yeah, drive past as fast as you want, Becky. So anyway, what was I saying? What was I saying? Okay. I was saying something about NVIDIA. Okay, yeah, so they got those RTX GPUs. And ultimately, I know that China is going to have Huawei leapfrog them. I'm 100% certain of it. So all I'm saying is you need to buy it at Intel while you can. You need to buy into that Micron. You need to buy, if you haven't already bought NVIDIA, you need to buy that Micron. You need to buy Intel. And all you can do is hold it. Now, AMD, supposedly their chip sales have risen. And they're selling more and more chips. My recommendation, if you can afford it, buy AMD too. But you should have done this already. AMD, I was telling y'all, I can't ever stop talking about it because my videos are still up. I was telling y'all about buying AMD and TSM back when AMD was like $50 a share. And what was it, Logitech at the same time. I was talking about Logitech and AMD. And I saw them going up specifically because during COVID, people were buying all their equipment. Like they were buying the hardware. They weren't even really buying the GPUs because Logitech don't make GPUs. They were buying AMD GPUs and they were buying Logitech hardware. But once NVIDIA just blew up, they started carrying everybody with them. They were like the caboose. They were like the locomotive on the train. They're pulling the train. And they pulled everybody along. Like you see how well Microsoft's doing. You see where Amazon is. You see where Google is. You see where everybody is. Everybody just started doing a lot better. The only people who I think didn't benefit from that who should have was actually Apple. Apple wants to keep all of their technology in-house so that they get 100% of the profit. They're trying to corner the market. Here's the problem. Apple's not good at that. Apple's not good at artificial intelligence. NVIDIA's really good at it because DLSS, RTX, ray tracing, NVIDIA's really, really good at it. Apple is not. In fact, they're good at, raw processing power for CPUs, like making those M processors, but they're really not good at GPUs. They're just not good at it. So it looks like what's happening is Intel is partnering a bit with NVIDIA so that they can make better integrated GPUs and CPUs. So basically what you're going to end up seeing is probably Intel CPUs that have integrated RTX graphics. Now that would be really interesting because what that would mean is that laptops would get more powerful. What's this cop doing? This cop is pulling something over in there. What is he doing? He's driving through the... Anyway, what you're going to end up having is you're going to end up having much, much more powerful laptops and netbooks and tablets. So that's a really good thing. Having integrated RTX graphics with CPUs, that'll be a really good thing. But the bottom line is, you at this point, it's just like I was telling my cousin, because I was talking to him about putting his portfolio together. I was like, listen, if I were you, I would just target banks and credit cards. However, if you go after those tech companies, whatever money you're putting in there, basically just treat it as if it's like a savings account, and the dividends you're going to collect will kind of be like what you would collect in interest. And, and that's it. So I told him that because, see, I have a cousin, he likes to spend all his money on video games. And I'm like, listen, for the money you're spending on video games, you could be turning that money into a lot more money just by investing it into these companies. Like, for instance, the $3,000 that you spent buying a GPU, you could have put that into NVIDIA and you could have made $22,000. But, these kids, they don't think like that. They're not thinking long term. They're only thinking about, what they can get now. They're thinking about short-term happiness. They're not thinking about long-term anything, and that's unfortunate. But, that's that. So it's like, that's all I was thinking. So, those are the only things I'm really thinking about. The only stocks I'm buying right now is credit cards and banks. This country is going to go deeper and deeper into debt. Donald Trump and the government, they got the government shut down. These people, how do you think these people are going to be paying for shit? They're going to be using fucking credit cards. This is what I've been saying. It's like you have to bet on the worst because Trump represents the worst of politics. And I think we've reached a point where both sides of government, Democrats and Republicans, suck so fucking bad that at this point the people are just, they're suffering, they're falling deeper and deeper into debt. They can't buy houses, they can't buy cars that don't get repossessed. They don't even know if they got their job. They get laid off. They got furloughs, this, that, and the other. So my thing is, at this point, all you can do is really bet on the worst. You got to try to keep your head above water, and you just bet on the worst. It's like that's what I'm focused on. I'm focused on the worst. Oh, look, it's one of them fucking Chargers. It's the RT Stage 1. I didn't know they really sold many of those. Those things are terrible. Dodge, Stellantis, I should say. Stellantis really screwed up. They really, really screwed up real bad, didn't they? But, yeah, it's like things are only going to get worse at this point. Things are only going to get worse. Credit card debt, job loss, the job market is bullshit. The government keep putting out these fake numbers, but we already knew that. When you put out the real numbers, Trump fires you and says, yeah, I don't like these numbers. I need new numbers. You got to get me new numbers. And he just fires the person. So how the fuck would you think I'm going to trust anything you say when I know that you're firing people who are telling the truth? It's like, man, I'm glad I don't work for them. Because there's no way I'd be able to keep my job. Because the problem is, integrity, as soon as that shit strikes, you're going to end up losing your job because this person's a nut job and a madman and he's going to fire you because you told the truth. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Basically, people who want to bet against America, they're the ones who are buying gold right now. Because gold, and I'm not even talking about cryptocurrency, gold, when you want to bet against a country and you don't trust the country, gold is the one you invest in. The problem is you don't make a lot of money off of it. Gold helps you to hold on to the value of the money that you're putting into it. But, when you buy, or I should say, when you buy and gamble on cryptocurrency, what you're doing is you're treating cryptocurrency kind of like it's a growth stock. It does not pay dividends and it's extremely volatile, but you're basically expecting it to go up. And when that crypto winter hits, it basically accelerates itself downwards and then it'll hit the bottom and it'll go back up, or at least you think it'll go back up. Donald Trump claimed that he's about to buy 1 million Bitcoin or some shit. Like he said he's going to buy 1 million Bitcoin. I don't want to be part of anything that the government's manipulating. I just don't. Because when they're manipulating it, you already know it's full of shit. Just like the jobs market. It's like you can't trust it. And then Russia claimed that America's manipulating the crypto market in order to try to dump the national debt. It's like, I don't trust none of that shit, man. So it's like, listen, I don't give a fuck if Bitcoin goes to 1 billion. If you want to put your money in it, you put your money into it. I'm still waiting for some of y'all to pull up on me in the Bitcoin Lamborghinis because I ain't seen it. Like Rick Ross, it's just like Rick Ross said. Rick Ross said, show me the money. Where's the money at? I don't see no money. So the early buyers of Bitcoin, the early guys, yes, they got their money. The Ponzi scheme, they got their money because they were early in. What did they do? The millionaires, the billionaires, they got the fuck up out of here. They took this shit to Puerto Rico. They're gone. Them dudes are gone. They went to the tax-free, I ain't paying no income tax states. And them people are gone. Now, what they did was they left everybody else holding the bag. So when the values went up because you got these institutional investors buying into it, anybody who's holding it, of course they're going to talk shit. They want it to go up. They don't want anybody talking about it. I really don't give a fuck. I really don't care. But the bottom line is they don't want you to talk about it because they just want everybody to be enthusiastic. They want people to buy into it. So, shame on them. See, the stocks that I buy into, I already know. I don't have to worry. People are buying the products. People are buying Microsoft products. People are buying Apple products like crazy. People are buying Amazon. People are buying Google. I ain't got to worry about that. Becky! Hello, Becky. You're hiding behind the tree, Becky. So anyway, people are buying the products. So I'm not worried about my stock going up. My stock's going to go up anyway. You know, Apple releases new products, stock goes up. Microsoft releases new Xbox stuff, stock goes up. What is it? GM releases new cars, stock goes up. You know, I don't have to worry about it. But with crypto, they ain't selling shit. So the whole problem that you have is you desperate for people to buy it to get the price to go up. But bottom line is, a lot of people right now, they ain't got that kind of money. So you ask, why is it going up? It's because these businesses and the government are investing in it. They're trying to get into it. They're trying to buy as much as they can. And the government is probably doing it because, just like Russia said, we're manipulating that shit so we can try to hide the national debt into it. Thing about it is, last time I looked at the national debt, that shit still said 37 trillion. And the reason why they were trying to force Jerome Powell to lower the interest rates was so we could refinance the debt and maybe save a couple of $100 million. You know, they got a new IQ Escalade, and that shit holds 11 people. Like, I ain't never seen, that thing is a bus. That is crazy. IQ, they got the IQL ESV. Like, before it was the IQ, and then it was the IQL, and now they got the IQL ESV. That shit hold 11 people. Like, oh, there's that electric GMC. I like that truck. I like that. If I was ever going to buy a truck, I'd buy that truck. That or the Chevy Avalanche. It's basically the same. I like that. I really like that. But I don't need a truck, though. Like, this guy with the Silverado, I was driving one of those Silverados, and it's like, yeah, the Silverado's not bad, because if I needed a truck to work and I just needed to put like equipment in it, yeah, I'd get a truck. But if you really want a real truck, you got to get one of these. You got to get like the Silverado, or you got to get a Ram. But considering how bad Stellantis is right now, I can't see buying a Ram. I just couldn't see it. If I got a Ram, I would have to buy an older, used 6.4 liter Ram truck. I couldn't buy that new stuff. I would buy the most basic equipment Ram truck I could buy, and I would drive that just to work. And if I had to tow, I'd have the 6.4. If I didn't have to tow, I'd get a regular engine, like a 5.7 or something. But yeah, man, it's like these people buying these trucks because the SUV prices are so high. The trucks have more rebates on them. Escalade. One of those Escalades. They got Escalades everywhere, man. Escalade. Everywhere I go, I'm seeing Escalades. Escalades. Very cool. I like the Escalade. But yeah, that's it, man. It's like this freaking traffic is just ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Right there in the mirror. I haven't taken my Jeep out in like 3 weeks. I should take it out maybe tomorrow and go buy the carb meat. I could do that. But no, in fact, I wouldn't do it tomorrow. I'd do it like Sunday. So if I take this car and I charge it, I could charge this car on Saturday evening and then take my Jeep out on Sunday morning and drive that all day. So this way this car will be fully charged and everything, waiting for Monday. And I drive this during the week. We got a 3-day weekend next week because of Columbus Day. Now, I know some people don't like Columbus Day. They want to call it Indigenous Peoples Day. But I grew up calling it Columbus Day, just like I grew up saying that there's 9 planets. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm just going to call it Columbus Day. If Indigenous Peoples Day, you call it whatever you want. I really don't. Or Italian American Heritage Day, you call it whatever you want. I really don't care. I'm just off. That's the only thing that matters. It's a day off. You can give me whatever holiday you want. You call it whatever you want. I don't care. I just want the day off. It's like, how the fuck do you get a day off just because because you know damn well he didn't discover shit. The place was already here. America was here. You didn't discover America. You accidentally landed here and you thought you were in India. You thought you were in India. You accidentally land here. Now, you gave this guy the day off. Okay, fine. I'm not arguing. I'm really not arguing. I just need the day off. I like the day off. That's all I'm looking for. Day off. That is it. Look at this guy. This guy is like speeding and shit. It's like, what are you doing, bro? You're gonna get somebody killed out of here. It's like, what these people are something else. Well, it's 3:47, so it's actually still relatively early. Still relatively early. I wonder if I go by the charging station. I wonder if there's anybody there. I still got 209 miles of range. But if I top it off, I could just drive my Jeep tomorrow and Sunday. If I top this thing off back to 300. See, I know whoever's idea it was to offer free charging for like 2 years, or even because the people who bought a 2023 Lyric, they got the free charging for 3 years. So I know whoever's idea that was, I know they're hitting themselves. They're like, I can't believe we did that. Why the fuck did we give these people free charging? Why did we do that? I know they're kicking themselves. I know they're mad at themselves for that. I know it. Could, yeah, because it's not 4 o'clock yet. See, at 4 o'clock, that's when the chargers get, how should I say, the chargers get crowded. Because people get off work, just like me. So I'm still below 4 o'clock. So as long as it's not 4 o'clock, these people typically aren't there yet. After like 4 o'clock, that's when they get there. You know, they're on their way, but they're stuck in traffic because there's so much freaking traffic. But yeah, man. It's like, for me, it's like, you know, some people, you know, are still doing reviews on their Cadillac Lyrics, and some people are still doing reviews on their cars, just like some people are still doing reviews on their iPhones. I'm always doing reviews on my products. It's like, these are good products. Like this iPhone 2 terabyte Pro Max, this is a goddamn good phone, man. This is what I wanted from iPhone since iPhone like 4. This is what I've wanted for the last 5 years. This is exactly what I wanted. I had to wait 5 years to get it. The 16 didn't have 2 terabytes. The 15 didn't have 2 terabytes. The 14 only had 1. You know, this right here is what I've been waiting for. 2 terabytes gives me 1 terabyte for all of my stuff, and then it gives me 1 terabyte to make videos. And that's a lot of storage, because oh shit, these people up there getting into car accidents. What's wrong with y'all? Y'all got to pay attention to the road. It's not professional driving. But yeah, man, I love this phone, man. And the thing about it is, if you were buying an Apple phone, you're not going to Android, because you already know iOS is better than Android. If you're a person who prefers Android, then you're not going to iOS because you prefer Android over iOS. So there's really not too much cross-shopping. I think the only people cross-shopping are probably kids who have Android phones, and then when they finally get a job, maybe that's when they upgrade to get themselves an iPhone. And even now, it's like, what, they got the iPhone Air? To me, that's a stupid product right now. I think when they make iPhone Air 2, I think they'll fix everything wrong with it this time around. To only have 1 speaker, to me, is stupid. Like, you know goddamn well people are going to complain that it only has 1 speaker. So why would you release this damn thing with only 1 speaker? You could have had 2 speakers. Even if they weren't very big or very powerful, you still could have had 2 speakers. Then on top of that, the shit only got 1 camera. So, okay, there's nothing you can do about that, because having 1 camera is, you know, you can't have any more cameras than that, because, you know, otherwise it would be thicker. What else? There was something else they were talking about. Oh, the battery is not that great. I don't see the point in it being thin. I really don't. I mean, the Pro Max is really the one everybody wants, simply because it was orange. And the bottom line is, a lot of people show off, oh, look at me, I've got the new iPhone. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. I got the new iPhone. So my thing is, it's like, I was never going to buy orange. Now, if I had like that orange Lamborghini, like my man Alvin has that orange Lamborghini SVJ, oh yeah, then I'd have the orange phone, because then I'd feel comfortable having such a loud ass phone to go with my loud ass car. That would make, okay, to me that would make sense. I'd probably even wear an orange suit, and people would be looking at me like, yo, this dude is crazy. And they'd be like, well, he must be rich because he's got a fucking orange Lamborghini and he's got an orange phone, so he must be rich. But I just couldn't, I can't see being that loud. That's just loud as fuck. Look at this guy. Come on, get out of the way, jerk off. Yeah, that's just loud. That's way too loud. Go around this turkey. I love the way these things accelerate, man. This car, it just doesn't feel like a Cadillac. Somebody said, yeah, this is BYD technology from China, because, you know, they build Cadillacs in China and they build lyrics in China as well as optics and stuff. I could very well see that, but it's amazing that this car feels nothing like your typical Cadillac. It feels nothing like it. Because with Cadillac, I was always used to, like, because we had the STS, had the SRX, had the XT5. I was always used to Cadillac giving me some bullshit. Like, either they give you the engine you want, but not the transmission. Either they give you the engine and the transmission, but they didn't give you the car the size you wanted the car. Like, they didn't give you everything you wanted with the CT6. And with Cadillac, to me, it was always some bullshit. There was always just something wrong. Oh yeah, look at me. Look at me. I'm the first in line. Look at me. Nobody here. Look at me. Driving right up. No line. Look at this. Oh, we got gravitational forces pulling to the side. Look at this. Drive right in there. Yeah. Look at me. Nobody else except this guy. That's what I'm talking about. Look at this. I beat everybody. I beat them all. Beat them all. Nobody else. Nobody else but me. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Holy shit, I didn't do that. Did you see that? That shit just fell out of nowhere. You saw that? Just fell out of nowhere. What's up, man? How you doing? I just pulled up. The shit just fell down. Huh? You don't think it works? All right, I'm going to test this one. If this one... Oh, all right. All right, my light's blue, so I think it's okay. Hopefully it's okay. Yeah. Well, I'm going to find out in a second. We'll see. If it doesn't work, I'll try to skip over there. But it looks like it's okay. Just waiting for the beat. How's everything going? Good, good. Happy Friday. Let's see this fucking thing. Come on, let's go. Let's go. Beep. Hello. Beep, please. Oh, man. Look at me. Look at me. It says available. It says available. And it says blue. Let's go. Beep, please. Hello. Hello. Fast charge me. Come on. Let's go. Hit the green beep. I might have to go into the software. I don't know what the fuck is going on with this shit. I might have to go into the software. Do it again. Hold on. I'm gonna pause this shit. Go into the software. I don't know what was going on, but I tested the other one. I'm checking right now to see if the other one processes, but it doesn't seem like it is. I'm trying to figure out right now what's happening. For some reason, the super fast charger isn't working, so I'm just gonna use the regular one. It doesn't really matter. I only have to regain like 100 miles. All right, let's do this. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know why. I think the communications is down. I'm gonna have to call them and I'll ask them to reset it. But I think the communications might have been down. So let's see what we could do. Huh? Yeah. I'm waiting to hear the beep. Just waiting to hear the beep. Come on, beep. Let's go. That's not me. There. Wait. Come on. I want to hear the beep. Let's go. Where's the beep? Give me the beep. There we go. Gave me the beep. We got the beep. We're good now. All right. So, yeah, there we go. You didn't want to use the fast one? Okay. All right. All right, so here we are. Once again, my favorite place in the entire world. Look at this. Fucking thing was sticking out of my tire. Look at that. Fucking piece of road trash. Fucking plastic garbage. Little leaf right there. Get that off there. Get that off there. All right, somebody left a Stanley stainless steamer cup thing. Somebody left that there. Okay, that's interesting. So, yeah. You see, they got all this trash and shit because these people, they didn't put a freaking dumpster. All you got to do is put like one dumpster. Look at this guy. All you got to do is just put a dumpster and it would all be good. This guy got the black lyric right there. Just all they had to do is just put a dumpster and we'd all be happy. And then we wouldn't have to, you see, they didn't think any of this shit through. Had this been China, I guarantee you all these charging stations would probably have a fucking car wash next to them and you'd be able to wash your whole car and charge. They didn't think anything through, freaking government. They're supposed to be smart. These guys are dumb as they come. It's incredible. They didn't think anything through, did they? Nothing. Nothing at all. Yes, let's just get this garbage out of here. We got some garbage. A little bit of garbage in there. Yeah, we'll just put it over here. They'll take care of it, I guess. Yeah, so I already went shopping. I already went to Target. I already went shopping. So I'm done with that. Yeah, people were like, oh, could you make a MARKETWATCH video? We want to hear a MARKETWATCH video about the government shutdown. I'm like, yeah, I think I could do that. Just, we're in the third day of the government shutdown, I think. So I could do that. Look at this guy. BZ4X. Yeah, guess what? You get to go to the last stall. There you go. Little BZ4X. So it's 2 lyrics, 2 BZ4Xs. That's typically what you see when you come here. You usually don't see the bigger, more expensive, like the Escalade and stuff like that. You usually don't see that. And I don't think I've seen any Vistics here yet. No Vistics. Yeah, it's nice. It's getting cold. I left my sweatshirt in the car. It's not too cold. It's a little windy. But yeah, man, this government shutdown, let me tell you, honestly, to be perfectly honest, so I'm listening to my radio shows. Oh, this guy's got the VinFast. I think I know that guy. Yup, I know that guy. I'm going to go say hi to him in a second. He got the VinFast right there. That's the Vietnamese electric vehicle being sold in America. It's VinFast. I'm about to go to Vietnam. And when I'm in Nam, I'm going to try to drive in a VinFast if I can. I know where VinFast sells cars up in Smithtown. It's like 25 miles up that way. But I just never had the desire to go and check out their cars. I just really didn't. But anyway, as far as this government shutdown, one of the things that bothers me is that these like liberal news media stations, they don't understand that there really is a tale of two cities. Like, you got to understand, I don't really get affected by the government shutdown, but I do understand that there's a lot of people and their jobs are furloughed and all that. And these people are, not at work because of the government shutdown. I don't get affected by the government shutdown that easily. Yeah, there may be some government services I might not be able to call up right now, but a government shutdown does not interfere with my paycheck. ICE is still out there, and ICE is still getting paid. The military-industrial complex does not shut down for any reason. It's still there. Some people feel it, some people don't. And as long as you have that kind of inequality where some people feel it and some people don't, you're not going to get the level of outrage that you're trying to manufacture to get these people active and to get them, protesting and stuff. It's not going to happen, So, this government shutdown, which is odd because the Republicans are in control of the Congress, the Supreme Court, and the freaking presidency. So you have to wonder, how the hell is there a government shutdown? Doesn't make any sense. The Democrats could not vote for anything you asked for, and you could still pass everything you want to pass. So why is there a government shutdown? But the Republicans are basically saying it's the Democrats' fault, which I think is hilarious because I'm like, wait a minute, they ain't even got the power to stop you from doing anything. So how are you blaming them? Doesn't make any sense, does it? It really don't. But that's just what we live in. We live in a world of false realities and bullshit narratives. That's where we live. False realities and bullshit narratives. So, I'll be looking at my stock portfolio. Somebody was saying, yeah, because of the government shutdown, stocks were going to go up, and they were right. My shit gone up. I'm at all-time highs. You can look at the smile on my face. You can say, yeah, man, I'm at all-time highs. And it's not because of Trump. It's in spite of him. I always knew we were going to get to Dow 50,000 sooner or later. But it's almost like he's trying to slow us down. Because you got to understand, whoever's president after him, they're not going to be allowed to get away with any of the bullshit that Trump is getting away with. Whoever's president after Trump, they're not even going to be able to maintain the thing that Trump is putting in. So even if you like his policies, it really doesn't matter. Once he's gone, his policies go with him. So the reality is, is that the Ram? Is that the TRX? No, I don't think it is. I think that's a Rebel. He's just dolled it up a little bit. Yeah, but my thing is, Trump's policies are going to disappear right with him. So my thing is, don't get too comfortable with this bullshit. Like, I know a lot of y'all like seeing ICE knocking down these doors and dragging these fucking immigrants out of here. I know a lot of y'all enjoy that shit. But understand something. Once Trump is gone, ICE goes with him. In fact, ICE might be gone before Trump's gone, for all I know. Who knows? It all depends. We don't know what the next 2 years are going to look like. Because I'll tell you, once these midterm elections hit, shit's going to get real ugly. It's going to get real ugly. I mean, right now, we're about to welcome Mayor Zoran Mamdani. Mamdani is going to be my mayor here in New York. And all types of shit's going to hit the fan then. That's going to be really interesting, actually. What we got is another BZ4X here. So, yeah. I don't know. I don't know what the next 2 years looks like. It's going to be wild. It's going to be wild, man. So you see these tomatoes, I grew these. Now this one I got to cut up a little bit because this one obviously is damaged a little bit. But I grew these in my backyard. So look what I'm doing over here. Making a tomato sauce right here. And I threw some meatballs in there. So I chopped these tomatoes up pretty good. Put them in there. And cook them down and everything, reduce that water out of them, because these things are really, really watery. It's like a lot of water in there. And I think next year I definitely want to try potatoes. I don't know what else I can grow in this climate in my backyard, but I got to buy some support struts to make it so that the weight of these damn things doesn't tear down the whole support system. So I'm going to get some brackets or something. I'm going to try potatoes, tomatoes, and something else. I don't know what else. I think we can grow up here. I think we can definitely grow thyme with ease, but I want to see what other large fruits or vegetables that we can grow up here. But I tell you, the way this economy's going, you damn near got to do this. You got to damn near learn how to grow your own food, because you can't count on these motherfucking grocery stores, and you damn sure can't count on your president with his fucking tariffs and everything. So, it is what it is. But it's actually pretty interesting growing your own food. It's very, very interesting. I'm not a farmer or nothing, but it's actually a very interesting feeling.
I'm looking for U.S. citizenship. Can y'all give it to me, please? I cook, I clean, I fuck, and I shut the fuck up. U.S. citizenship, please.
All right, speaking of market watching the market makes no sense if there's nobody to actually spend the money that's being collected and, earned and saved right now. America's birth rate has basically hit a multi-year low. So you got a bunch of stories that just came out. About a month ago, you got the Washington Post. They said the group behind Project 2025 wants a Manhattan Project for babies. The next one up, Gallup, America's ideal family size remains above 2 children. The number that I've constantly seen is like 2.7. It's like, in order to keep a population afloat, you have to have at least 2.7 children per couple. We're right now at like 1.6. Then after that, it says Project 2025 group makes plans to boost U.S. birth rate. Let's read that, because that just sounds fucking dumb. There's not really much you can do about it, because the problem is you're dealing with these liberal feminists, and they've basically said they're not gonna do it. So let's see. It says the conservative think tank behind crafting Project 2025 will call for a Manhattan Project to restore the nuclear family in response to America's falling fertility rate, according to a draft policy paper. The Heritage Foundation's draft positive paper called "We Must Save the American Family." These people. What did Bane say to Batman? He says, "Yeah, admirable, but misguided." It's like, there's nothing you can do. The mistake that you made was you gave women birth control. That was the mistake you made. Right there, it was over. Because what you basically did was you interjected a variable that you're never going to be able to take away at this point. And that's just that. So it's over. There's nothing you can do. Let's see. What is this? Okay, so it says we must save the American family. Calls on President Donald Trump's administration to enact policies to encourage more people to get married and have children. Basically, they mean more white people. But the thing about it is the only people who are birthing at that rate are like everybody else. Specifically, according to the census, the last census that was taken, Hispanics and Asians. Blacks aren't doing it. In fact, from what they said in the census, it says the black numbers were actually down. The white numbers were, they were not really gaining and they weren't really going down. But they said that the only real gains were Hispanics and Asians in the very last census. And I've read that story a couple of times based on what the census had. But that's just where it is. So with birth control, women basically have the ability to control their birth. Duh, that's what the word says. It says a declining birth rate can have a number of effects on a population, including implications for the size of the future workforce, which could put a strain on revenue streams for programs like Social Security and Medicare. The issue has sparked bipartisan concern from U.S. lawmakers and led to a proposed bill from the Senate in May called the Supporting Healthy Healthy Moms and Babies Act, which would designate maternity care as an essential health benefit under the Affordable Care Act. First of all, the problem isn't healthy moms and babies. That's not the problem. The problem is that the average one of these females can't afford an apartment. Now, if you go in this direction where you got Donald Trump offering $5,000 to these women, I brought that story up. It's in the news. You can read it yourself so nobody says I made something up. Because some of you Trump ass kisses and sycophants would love to say that it's not true. The bottom line is $5,000 ain't shit. That's number one. The government can't solve this problem because the problem wasn't created by government. The problem is created, in this case, by women. The women have basically decided that they would rather be out there working, having a job, having money, being equal or above a man. Now, they'll never be equal to men, and they'll never be above men. Even now, they're still complaining, men make $1 and women only make like 75 cents or some bullshit they came up with. I don't remember what they were saying. But the bottom line is, men do the dangerous, difficult, and dirty jobs. Now, the day that women decide that they're going to be, I passed a construction site just yesterday, and I was on my way into Manhattan. Of course, sweaty men, and by the way, it was kind of cool out there because it was in the 70s. Sweaty men, and then there's a woman walking around holding a construction sign, directing traffic around the construction site. I'm like, yo, you're not going to get paid the same amount as the guy who's got that jackhammer and is tearing the street apart. You're not going to get paid the same amount. He's doing a dangerous, difficult, and dirty job. Now, the day that women take on the dangerous, difficult, and dirty jobs, that's when they'll earn what men earn. Other than that, they don't deserve to earn what men earn, period. And it's based on merit. It's not based on gender. It's not based on sex. It's based on merit. If you can't do what I do, then you're not going to get paid what I get paid. Not only that, men have the ability to outwork women. It's just that simple. The burden of childbirth is on the woman, not the man. The way nature intended this shit is that the man is out there hunting lions and hunting animals to kill them and bring back their meat, and then the woman's at home cooking it and taking care of the kids. That's how nature intended that shit. So what it was, Kamala Harris, they claim that her campaign slogan was, "We're not going back," or some bullshit like that. I don't even remember what it was. But the bottom line is, it's like, okay, if you're not going back and you're trying to go forward, then you're going to have to move forward the exact same way men do. You're going to have to do dangerous, difficult, and dirty jobs. Now, as far as these women are concerned, their idea of a dangerous, difficult, dirty job is being a cop. Now, I'm starting to see all of these big bubble butt Latinas joining the New York PD. And now they're taking photos. They're on Instagram taking pictures. And they're still, they're in their police uniform, and they still taking ass photos in the mirror in the bathroom. It's like, what is wrong with you? It's like, don't you get it? You're going to lose your job because the NYPD's internal affairs is going to see that shit, and then they're going to come take your job. You got these women who whenever they got a job, they're truckers, and they're still taking ass photos. They're in the truck stop. They're in the mirror in the bathroom taking ass photos. And I'm like, you're going to lose your job. Men know. Now, could you imagine if there were men and the men had these jobs? Like the men, let's say a man is an FBI agent and he's in the bathroom and he's taking pictures of his ball sack. That's basically the same thing. You're going to lose your job. You can't do that. But they don't get it. And then they lose their job and then they want to blame somebody. They say it's misogyny. It's not misogyny. You can't be advertising in uniform. I call it advertising when they show it off their ass. But it's ridiculous. It says, what to know? America is one of a number of countries worldwide that has been seen falling fertility rates and birth rates. Fertility rates are projected to average 1.6, that's that 1.6 number that I threw out, births per woman over the next 3 decades. So basically what they're saying is the average woman is going to be having one child They call it one and done. And guess what? That ain't enough. 1.6 ain't enough. They said you have to have 2.7. So what that basically means is that you're supposed to have one child while you're young, and then they're going to have like another child later on, and that's it. It's like, that's not enough. You've got to have 2 children immediately, and then you have to have one more, like the youngest, the baby. It's like, y'all playing games with these numbers, and you're going to lose. So you know what? This Heritage Foundation, these people are stupid, and they just don't get it. See, you know what the big problem is nobody talk about? You know what the big problem is? The problem with America is America has always survived on cheap labor and slave labor. That's what it really comes down to. During slavery, America had control of slaves. But now they don't have control of slaves. So as soon as slavery ended, what did they do? They started letting immigrants just flood in here from wherever. And in that time, it was Ireland, Italy, they didn't want to let the Asians in too much because they knew that Asians had strong family values and they weren't going to go home. They wanted those people to come here, and they wanted those people to come here, work, and send money back home, and they wanted them to come here, work, and have families and stuff. But the Asians, they had the Chinese Exclusion Acts because they didn't want Chinese people coming here and having families and moving in here. They didn't want them basically turning this place into China. So they had all these racist policies for basically non-whites. But then they turned that on women. And they basically, controlled women to the point where they were able to pump like 7 or 8 children out of them. But now, once that birth control hit, that was the 70s? Once you got that birth control, it was over. Because that birth control basically was like, oh yeah, well, I can't keep them off of me and I can't keep from getting pregnant. But what I can do is I can stop from getting pregnant because now I get this birth control. And that was it. And once they got that, it's over. So what it really comes down to is the white man has lost control. That's what it comes down to. That's why they're crashing out. That's why they're losing their minds over there in Utah. They're shooting up Charlie Kirk, and they're just going crazy at this point. And they up there all this Donald Trump rallies. See, the sad thing about it is Donald Trump presents this image as if he has control of everything. He doesn't fucking have control of everything. He doesn't. They tried to take his head off back in Pennsylvania. So, no, he doesn't have control of everything, but these guys, they really think he does. He doesn't. And the reality is these women don't respect you. They don't respect you, and they're not having your children unless they deem it, unless they deem it to be that they have your children. They're telling you they don't respect you. How do they tell you they don't respect you? You know how they do it? First of all, by dating other races. That's number one. Number two, by having other races' kids and not yours. That's what they're literally telling you. They don't respect you. And it seems to me like they're doing it as a point. It's like, it's not even as if they're doing it because of happenstance. It's like they're doing it to make a point. And dropping your birth rates to fucking 1.6, that's like the first stage. Now, how does Project 2025 Heritage Foundation come up with an answer to that? Because I haven't seen no answer to that doesn't involve locking these women to radiators and making them have children. But they can't do that. So if they can't do that, and the women are literally saying, yeah, I don't respect you, I'm going to have whatever I have when I feel like having it. And I don't care what the birth rate is. And then they paint their hair green, and then they put a fucking nose ring in, and they look like bulls and cows and stuff. It's like they're literally telling you they don't respect you. And that's just the bottom line. I'm sorry. So once again, I'll always continue to fall back on this. It's like, listen, your best bet is to do exactly what some of your grandfathers did or your fathers did and go to Thailand, go to Philippines, go to wherever you can over there in Southeast Asia. If not there, if you want you a big bubble butt Latina, you better go down to Brazil, you better go to Argentina, whatever it is, because you're not getting it here. They do not have an answer to this. And the answer to this is very simple, in my opinion. Get your passports. As far as these Western females, you can forget. In fact, I will say this. We had this big discussion and this big argument over these, Kenyans, and how they were trying to rip us off for green cards. We're not going to let that happen. You get your green card, first of all, you're not getting no green card off me. That's number one. What you need to do is you need to move to their country and you need to stay there. You will hook up immediately. One of the things that I can promise you, because some of these dudes are involuntarily celibate. Some of these dudes are voluntarily celibate. They don't want to mess with these women at all because they don't want to make any mistakes that cost them 18 years of child support. I totally understand that. What I'm saying is, for those dudes who are involuntarily celibate, you're in the wrong place. What you need to do is you pick your country, whichever country it is, move there, and I guarantee you'll hook up with somebody like almost immediately. Guaranteed. It doesn't matter which country you go. You want to go to any country, it doesn't matter. It's like you could go to, no. You can't go to Russia. You could go to, I wouldn't go to Ukraine either because those countries look like they're about to blow each other off the map. And that's not really true. Russia's about to blow Ukraine off the map. I never imagined that they would have been fighting this long. I mean, this is years in. I never imagined this shit would have continued this long. But right now, Ukrainian women are about 80% off. Russian women about 40% off. They're looking for Western men because their own men have basically killed themselves off. So now they're looking for American men. They're looking for Western men. Specifically, they love American men. Because Western men over there in Europe, those guys, they don't like them too much because those guys, in many cases, they've got issues. They've got a lot of issues that even we don't have. So they like I like American men. I want American men. So basically, you could get yourself a nice Russian wife named Svetlana, because that's what I always thought. If I ever married a Russian woman, her name would have to be Svetlana with the, what is it, TSV, or how you spell that? I don't know how to spell it. But her name's got to be either Svetlana or her name has to be Grinka or some shit like that. But bottom line is, they're 75% off. They're looking for American men. And then they're beautiful for the most part. They look like supermodels, figure skaters. They're beautiful, If you get one of those, these American women are going to hate your guts. Your own mama is going to disown you. Your mama is going to be, oh, well, what's wrong with American women? And then you sit down and tell her. Because, see, I've gotten to the point in life where my parents, I don't fear them at all. It's like I'm going to tell them exactly what I'm thinking. And the sad thing is, as soon as they say something like that, because I put my father to tears. Why are you dating these foreign women? And why are you getting foreign women? And then I told her, I was like, have you seen what these American women are like? And then I go right into it. Like, you used to be like when you were younger and your parents ask you a question like that, you probably not say anything or you just shy away from, I don't know. Not anymore. Thanks to Kevin Samuels and thanks to radicalization on the internet, as soon as one of them parents, grandparents, as soon as they say something and they ask a question like that, you just rattle it off. You'll be like for example, and I brought this up before. After that Dylan Roof church shooting, I was literally walking around. I was like, you know what? These black churches need to get armed. You need to get yourself a fucking gun legally, and you need to keep that shit on you. I saw, what was it? That other shooting at the Key Food, I think it was, up in Buffalo. That piece of shit, Peyton Gindren, that motherfucker should have been executed by now. Bottom line is, I'm like, no, listen, you need to get yourself a piece. Anybody come in there, one of AR-15 starting some shit, you need to deal with that yourself. Fuck these cops. You don't need the cops. Get it done yourself. So the bottom line is, I was like, yeah, they need to arm these churches. Oh, they can't arm the churches? What are you? God will provide. God will protect. No, you need to arm yourself. Don't tell me that bullshit. I was ready. I was at war with all of them. I was like, yeah, grandma, grandpa, I don't care who you are. I'm telling you what it is because y'all are crazy. I'm getting me this Desert Eagle. I'm getting this Kimber, and I'm ready. So well, that's not, you don't need that. You can't be in church work. So anyway, now even my father was like that. Next thing you know, I don't know what it is. He saw something. Something must have happened that he saw it or something happened. All of a sudden, he decides to go out and buy a gun. And I was like, wait a minute. You're the person who told me I was wrong. It was like, oh, well, I guess you were right. You know, you were right. I thought about it. You were right. I was like, wow. So basically, I turned him around. So here you got these dumbass liberal leftists. I'm going to call them what they are. They sitting there watching The View and all that bullshit. And they're like, oh, yeah, well, we don't need AR-15s and you don't need 100 rounds to hunt and all. And I'm like, that's fucking bullshit. So basically, as soon as those bitches start talking, I'm ready to go out and buy something. I just say it just like that. It's like, don't tell me what I don't need. In fact, the mere fact that you're afraid of it means I'm going to go buy one. It's just that simple. So what I'm saying is, you start talking about anything politically related, but if you start talking about romance and romantically related things, it's like you just start rattling this stuff off. It's like you're your own journalist, you're your own talking points. And I put my father to tears over that. Oh, well, I thought you were going to get a woman from here. I'm like, are you kidding? What are you, crazy? Have you seen what these women are like? No. What are you, crazy? And it's funny because most of these parents are the ones who convince their daughters, oh, get your own. You could go to school and you'll be rich and get your own career and all. Yeah, but what you've basically done is not only have you put them in debt, but you've also basically put them in competition with men. And men don't like competition from women. So the men are going to ignore them, stay away from them, and so forth and so on. It's like, it's no surprise why the birth rates have dropped. The marriage rates have dropped. The divorce rates aren't as high as they would be because now people aren't getting married. So you can't have divorce if you don't have marriage. So the divorce rates are technically down, but they're only down because marriage is down. So it makes sense. But what's crazy is when you listen to these liars in the news talk about stuff, when you listen to them talk, you're like, wait a minute, that's not true. That's not the reason. So listening to them, it's like, hold on. They'll have you shouting at your television. They're like, wait a minute. The reason why the birth rates are down is because these men are going their own way. Like, how can you have a conversation on the news about birth rates being low and not mention MGTOW or Red Pill or not mention Kevin Samuels or not mention... How can you have that conversation? How can you have that conversation with, so you know what they like to do? They like to turn it to the economy. They like to say, oh, yeah, well, it's because housing and affordability is so high. It's because the job market is so low. That's not why it is. No, that's not why it is. It's because of a gender war. The men are literally in competition and war with the women. War, W-A-R, means we are right. The men believe that their ideology is right, and the women believe their ideology of liberal American feminism is right. But men have a secret weapon. You see, men can say, you know what? I'm not doing this. And they what did they call it? They said, take your ball and just leave. Well, yeah, if you go to the basketball court and you don't like the way the basketball court is, and you don't like the way the other players are, but you brought your ball to the court, they're there, but it's your ball. You can say, you know what? I'm going to just take my ball and leave. They'll be standing around staring at each other, and there ain't nothing they can do because it's your ball. And you took your ball and leave. And it's just that simple. So one of them will have to get a ball from somewhere else, but they ain't got your ball. Not only that, your resources. You're taking them and you say, no, I'm leaving. Forget this. Fuck this place. Let this place burn. Who gives a shit? And you just leave. And it's just that simple. You leave. It's your right. It's your right to leave peacefully. It's your right. They hate that. They hate the fact that you have a choice. That's exactly what birth control did. It gave them a choice whether or not to have 2.7 kids or to drop you down to 1.6. When you have a choice, that's when you have power. And they don't like you having power. You go into the store, you've got 100 different choices of cereal. Meanwhile, you go into the voting booth, you've got 2 different choices. You're down from 100 choices to 2. You want to buy a car? You've got thousands of choices of a car to buy. You go to the election booth, you got 2 choices. You see how this works? So they don't like the fact that you have a choice. When they got the choice, they exercised their choice. And they said, fuck you. And they said, yeah, instead of 2.7 children, I'm going to have 1.6. Oh, really? Yeah, well, I'm going to take my choice passport and I'm going to go over here to one of these countries where these women, like, you got to understand, first of all, and a lot of these women are angry about the fact that there's so many of these foreign women who want family, want fathers, and want husbands to be the leader of the family. And they hate that. These feminists hate that shit. You have to understand something, and I'll speak very frankly. When you go over to some of these countries, you got to understand these women do not like birth control at all. Like, they don't do the pills, and they damn sure don't use the condoms. Now, yes, they do have issues with teen pregnancy. I'll just say that because you got to be careful how you say it, talk about it. Yeah, they have serious issues with teen pregnancy. However, if you find one who has no children at all, you're in there and you can start something with her. But here, I mean, you're dealing with an issue where you don't have a problem with teen pregnancy. You've got a problem with 30-year-old, 40-year-old geriatric pregnancy. And then they're still not married, and they're still looking for men when they have children at 30 and 40. It's like, wait a minute. I don't want to deal with that. Or let's say you have women who are in their 20s, and they're in college, and they're getting pregnant in 20s. And it's like, wait a minute. You got some other guy's child. I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to be a stepdaddy. Oh, well, you're not man enough to handle me. You're not man enough to step up and take care of another man's responsibilities. And he'd be like, no, I'm not. No, I don't want that. I don't want to deal with that. Basically, being a stepdaddy is like financing another man's orgasm. I mean, there's no more truth than that. There's really no more truth. It's like, now listen, I totally understand if the man in the picture, if let's say her husband, he was in the military and he was in an Osprey and it crashed and killed him. That's a little bit different. Okay, she wasn't planning on that. He sure as hell didn't plan on that. And that's not her fault. So I could kind of understand. It's like, okay, I love her and she's got this other guy's kid, but he's dead now. As long as he's dead, I could kind of understand. Let's say he was he went to the war, and wherever the war is, because there's always a war, and he's fighting for your freedom and everything, and he got his head blown off. Okay, I could kind of understand that. You'd be like, yeah, this little kid, he's a cool little kid. He needs a father. Well, okay, as long as the father's dead, okay, I can totally understand that. I can understand that. But when you're dealing with the father's still alive and he's, a Pookie or a Ray Ray and he's out there creating more kids and everything and you're just expected to take care of it, no, unacceptable. If he's dead and you can visit his grave and you can see his gravesite and everything, because some of these women will lie. They'll be like, oh, he's dead. No, he's not. He's still alive. He's over there Pookie it up. And it's like, no. We're not dealing with that. But as long as he's dead, I can understand it. I'm not saying if he's in prison doing a life sentence. I didn't say that. I'm not talking about if he's in jail, but he might get out in 3 or 4 years. No, I did not say that. If he's dead, maybe I can almost understand the stepdaddyisms. But see, you know what the problem that these dudes are facing? A lot of these girls have had children with men who are a different race. So now you may have a white girl and a black kid, and these white guys, they don't want to deal with that as a stepdad. So they're on these internets making constant memes and jokes about these white women who have black kids from college, and they don't want to deal with it. It's like, well, that's your choice and that's your option. You can just, get your passport, go to Asia, and hope that you don't get taken advantage of by a young chick who just wants a green card. Or you could go down to South America and hope that you don't get taken advantage of. Like if you're no neck Ed on 90 Day Fiance and you go over to Philippines and you've been lying about your height, you're only like 5 feet tall, and you've been saying that you're actually 6'1", and then she finds out about it, you're using high-heeled shoes to make yourself look taller, but you're not. I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean, bottom line is, you're just going to have to deal with the cards you're dealt, or you're going to have to go get another deck of cards. But as far as these birth rates, man, the news doesn't tell the truth. That's why I hate them. I don't watch them anymore because they don't tell the truth. They bring up this story, then they make some bullshit that's not true. They don't tell the truth. It sucks. It's terrible. It's just ridiculous. It says, the Report Heritage Foundation proposal includes plans for government-seeded savings accounts for married couples. Yo, listen, savings accounts ain't the problem. What is this? A call to measure all policies against their effects on marriage and births and blames free love, pornography, careerism. Okay, so that's what they want to call it. They want to call it careerism. Yeah, okay. Try taking careerism away from women and see what happens to the GOP. Just try. The pill, of course, I already mentioned that. Abortion, of course. Same-sex relations. So basically, these women don't respect you so much that they're willing to sleep with each other rather than sleep with you and have children. And then it's no-fault divorce. So they're blaming all of these things. And I will agree, the no-fault divorce, because you know what I don't like? I don't like this idea of no-fault car insurance. So I could kind of understand what they're talking about with the no-fault divorce thing. My thing is, here's the problem, though. When a lot of these people are getting married, one of the worst things that you could do is get married and have the house in both of your names. That's like the worst thing you could do. If you're married and the house is only in your name, now the issue is whatever she brings in, she's going to swear that she was paying all the bills. She's going to swear that she was paying the mortgage and all that shit. The problem comes that if there's a divorce and separation, how do you separate these assets? That's the problem. How do you separate the property? So what ends up happening is somebody's forced to sell the house at fair market value or whatever it is, and now they got to buy you out of it. And the judge is, you owe her $400,000. It's like, how the fuck do I owe her $400,000? She didn't hand me $400,000. Oh, well, she was paying the bills, or she has receipts and she was paying this and paying that. It's like, that's a huge problem. Like, I know people right now, I got friends right now, one of them, female, has a house, and then her fiance, he's got a house too. Now, his house is in another state, her house is in this state. Well, how do you deal with that? Well, logically, what somebody would do is they say, okay, we'll rent out one of these houses and we'll live in the other one, right? But that could get really, really dicey. Because in her case, she only lives in part of her house and rents out the other part. In his case, he has the entire place to himself. So it would be logical to move with him. Here's the problem, though. She works here. So these things can get really, really, really dicey. But this is the problem. Men aren't used to coming into a relationship where the woman has her own. Men are used to coming into the relationship where he's building and she's helping him build. So it made sense, because you got to understand, most men do not want to get divorced. The only time men want to get divorced is if she's not cooking, she's not cleaning, and she's not screwing. And if it's any of those three things, I'd say maybe 2 out of 3 is enough to end that relationship. Men typically don't want to get divorced. It's women who act like, oh yeah, well, I'm a free spirit and I got to go out and experience the world and everything that has to offer and all that bullshit. And that's what this Heritage Foundation, like, there's nothing they can do about that, because the problem that they're up against is personal freedom. America is supposed to stand for personal liberty and personal freedom and rights to pursue happiness. You can't stand in the way of that. But all of these things that they named, free love, I mean, for God's sakes, it says it right there in the word, free love, pornography, careerism, all of those things are freedom for women. Those things are women's freedom. Now, these liberal feminists rebel against the idea of any level of control. But the problem is they're always going to end up losing in the end, because they won't have stability, especially during an economic downturn. They won't have children in most cases. A lot of them are, there's another study real quick that I'll get to, talking about how by like 2030, you're going to have like a lot of women are going to be single, childless, and unmarried. So they're going to lose. It's like it's built in. They're going to inevitably lose. But they don't care. That's the thing about it. That's the whole thing about freedom. Freedom is like, I can do whatever I want, even if it bites me in the ass later on. Like, there's these people, and you may have heard me rant about it, who are taking on dangerous pets, and they think that eventually that shit's not going to bite the shit out of them. People with emotional support alligators. You people are crazy. And when that animal rips your arm off, I want it to be caught on video because I want to watch it. You people who try to take on big cats, jungle cats, and you think that, he's just a little kitty. Yeah, he's little now that he's a baby kitten. But when that thing grows to 500 pounds, he ain't so little and whittle anymore. And he's going to be hungry and he's going to eat your ass. And I'm like, you people are nuts. There's people on YouTube and they think it's cute keeping venomous snakes in the house. And I'm like, why would you do that? I don't even want a non-venomous. I don't have any pets. I'll just say it like that. I have no pets. Part of the reason is because when I decide that I want to pick up and I want to go to another country, I can pick up and I can get on a plane, go to another country. I don't have to ask anybody, could you take care of the dogs? Could you take care of the cats? Could you make sure you water the plants? No, I don't have to ask anybody any of that shit. Some of these people take on these dangerous pets and then act surprised when the thing bites the shit out of them. I just don't understand that. I don't understand. It's like, yes, I understand that people like to go to the casino, they like to gamble, but I don't want to gamble with my life in a situation where the risk is so ridiculously high that, something's going to happen. It just doesn't make sense. Not to me. But these people got the emotional support alligator. Oh, yeah, he's just a little pet puppy. No, that's not a puppy. That's a fucking alligator. And the guy is laying on the couch, and the alligator crawls up on him, and he's growling and shit. And I'm like, get this fucking thing out of here. That's an alligator. You can't unalligator the alligator. Just like Chris Rock said, that tiger didn't go crazy when it attacked you. That tiger went tiger. But these people are crazy. So my thing is, yeah, you have the freedom to do some of these things, but just because you have the freedom doesn't make it a good fucking idea. So when you get bit in the ass, whose fault are you? You're going to always try to blame somebody. But bottom line is, when they wake up in 2030 or whatever it is, 2030, 2035, it's supposed to be 2030. That's 5 years from now. When they wake up and they realize, oh man, I'm 40 and I'm single and I'm childless and I'm unmarried. That's when they'll get it. But guess what? See, the beautiful thing about being a man, and this is, I love this. I like bragging about it. The beautiful thing about being a man is you can be 45. You get that passport, you get on that plane, you go someplace. Next thing you know, you married, you got kids. You could be 50 years old. You get your passport, you get on that plane, you go someplace. Next thing you know, you're married, you got kids. And probably with a chick who's 20-something years old, 2025. Project 2025. Yeah, she's 20 to 25 years old. Christmas cake. In fact, she's not even Christmas cake. If she's younger than 25, she's not Christmas cake. Christmas cake is after 25. It's no good. And the thing about it is, American men, we're willing to go between 25 and 35 without a problem. We'd be like, okay, yeah, well, she's 30, she's 32, 33, 34. Yeah, she's okay. We're willing to do that. These foreign guys, they ain't willing to do that. These Japanese men, oh, they're not willing to do that at all. See, here's the problem. The Japanese men, they're pretty brutal, honestly. They'll be like, you know what? If you're older than 25, you're no good. Because, they consider the women to be Christmas cake. Because, see, basically, in Japan, after World War II, after we bombed them, we destroyed their government. Like, it was very hard to get sugar. So they couldn't make sweets like cookies. They couldn't make sweets like cakes and stuff like that. So during Christmas, because they're not Christian too, they would celebrate by giving each other gifts of cake. You see what I'm saying? They'd give each other gifts of cake because it was so hard to get sugar. And the problem is, if you have too many Christmas cakes and they're laying around, now you can't eat it because you're a Japanese guy, so you're skinny. You don't want to eat all that cake because you're going to get sick. You're going to gain weight. So they say the Christmas cakes are no good after the 25th. That's basically where they came up with this idea of Christmas cake. Now, if you were to ask a Japanese man and you say, why is it that Japanese men, and the Chinese do this too, because they go down to parts of Asia, they go to like Burma, Malaysia, Myanmar, like they go down to other parts of Asia, parts of Southeast Asia to find wives, right? And young wives, that's the key. You got to use that word young. The women got to be between the ages of 17 and 20 or 22 or 23, but they can't be over 25 for the most part. If you go down there, you're looking for young wives, right? And the Chinese men do it, the Japanese men do it, the South Korean men do it. But if you were to ask one of these Japanese men, and you say, Japanese man, excuse me, why are you going down to Southeast Asia? You've got all these beautiful Japanese women, even though some of them are older than 25. Why are you going down to Southeast Asia looking for wives? Why don't you just stay in Japan and, marry one of these Christmas cakes? Well, that Japanese man, he's going to be very upset with you. He's going to get extremely angry. I can't tell you how angry he's going to get. And his eyes are going to get very, very narrow. And he's going to look you square in the face. He's going to look you right in the eyes. And so you got to understand, the Japanese culture, they don't look you right in the face. They try to look away from your face because in their culture, they don't make eye contact except unless they're extremely angry and they mean it. So he's going to look you right in the eyes. He's going to look you in the eyes like he's a python. And he's about to bite you. And he's going to say, no! No, what the Christmas together. No! Please do not ask a Japanese man if he wants to marry a Christmas cake. Just don't do it. It's not a good idea.
I miss black people. I know that sounds crazy, but...
So that hot take is not even a hot take. Sis, of course you miss black people. Black people are everything. They are the heart and soul of America. They are, oh my God, the most beautiful, loving, fun, all the things. They are the fucking culture. Of course you miss black people. That's not a hot take. That's a fact. I moved to Vancouver. When I first moved to Canada, I moved to Vancouver. And Vancouver does not have many black people, period. They have a ton of Chinese. There's a ton of Punjabi Indians. Whole different culture. Great to get to know people. Great to learn it. But when I tell you how bad I missed black people, how bad I missed that culture, that love, that joy, that, God, I don't even know. I can't even put words to what it is. So, I knew when I moved back to Canada, I needed to go somewhere with more black people. So I went to Calgary. You know why? Because in Calgary, there's a lot of Nigerians. And I love it. I love it. However, I'm going to tell you something. There ain't nothing like American black. There is no black that is American black. And we should say it more often. We should say more often what American black means and how it feels and how much we love it. Love it. Love them. Love them as individual people, as a culture, as a vibe. Being American black is just so fucking special. So special. And if you ain't never had an old black man or an old black woman say to you, honey child or baby girl, you are missing the fuck out. Missing out. You don't even know life. You don't even know life till that happens to you. Till you know people like that. So, that is not a hot take. I guess it's a hot take because nobody says it. We should say it more. We should say it more. We should say it all the time. American black people are the best people on the planet. Period. Hands down. Bar none. End of story. Period.
So here I am on this fine Saturday morning, headed over to Security Dodge, see what's going on over there, if anything. Take my Jeep out, get the rust off the brakes, take it out a little bit, let it, get some air. Gotta pull that thing out, let it get some air. So, probably go by the car show tomorrow, see if, because it's like we're still getting really decent weather, so nobody's hanging up their cars yet. I'll probably take this there. I got to get air in the tire up here. I don't know what it is, but then again, the car was sitting still for like a month, so got to put some air in this tire right here. Look at these guys on the bus. See, I work extra hard to stay off of these goddamn buses and trains, because you never know. There could be crazy people on those buses and trains. Never know. Work extra hard to stay off these buses. It's like if it really came down to it, as much as I'd hate to, it's like if I had to, I'd buy like a Honda Civic just to stay off these goddamn buses. I would rather have like a Tesla Model 3, but you know, let's say, you know, I didn't make much money, and let's say I had no choice. You're driving too slow, Skippy. So that's the thing. When you got an SRT product, a real SRT product, not this new bullshit, you stay at the front of every single line because, like, nobody can pretty much challenge you, and they don't realize that you're about to accelerate past them. So for the most part, you stay right in the front of every single line. You're at every single light. I think that was a problem with the first generation of these things back in 2006, not the Jeeps. But the problem was, the closer you get to the light, now you can't see the light because of how these windows are and how thick this roof thing is. So they had to push the window down a little bit so they can make it easier for you to see. Yeah, my window's a little dusty. I'm gonna have to get some paper towel and some what's that stuff called? Paper towel and Fantastic or something. Whoa, look, we got a fair going on. Woo! Got a little bit of a fair yeah, but they ain't. I can see right now they ain't selling nothing. It's like they're selling like arts and crafts and shit. It's like I'm not going to that. So they got everything blocked off. All blocked off. Yeah, that's fun. Yeah, so I got to go by one of these Mavis tire places and use their free air hose to pump up my air pressure. Yeah, the Amityville Horror House is actually over here. Like, you can look it up on Google. You can actually find out exactly where it is. The Amityville Horror House. I don't think it's on this block. I think it's on another block, though. So, yeah, I just felt like coming over here, see what they got. Because, see, I don't think they got any of the gas chargers yet. But I just wanted to see what they look like. Because from what the looks of it, the four-door Scat Pack is supposedly like $68,000. I'm like, yeah, good luck with that, guys. And now that the tax credit's gone, it's like, now you ain't even got no rebates. You ain't even got no rebates to sell. That's a damn shame. See what's going on over here. My man Diddy got 50 months. It's like, damn, Diddy, they gave you 50 months, man. 4 years, Diddy. But I guess that's better than life in prison, because that's what those animals were trying to get him for. It's like he hadn't killed no. If you didn't kill anybody, I don't see why you'd give somebody that much time in prison, though. I really don't see it. I think it's bullshit. If you kill somebody, as far as I'm concerned, if it's murder, you should be executed. It's like, I don't even think about, like, you know, giving you long periods of time in prison for that shit. But all he did was supposedly Diddy was basically a transport bro. And they're called the transport bros because they transport hoes. So they got him for that, but, you know, realistically, it's not like they kidnapped anybody. These women signed up to be transport bro hoes. So as far as I'm concerned, I mean, I wouldn't have given them prison for that. You know, I think we need to bring back public beatings. Like, this way, if somebody does something real bad, you beat them publicly, and that usually acts as a deterrence for the next people. Because, you know, people be like, you know, I would do something bad, but I don't want to get my ass whipped in public, so they don't do it. What the hell? This is the first time I've seen... They must be having a problem with this water. That must be what it is. It must be flooding issues. Uh-oh, we got the cheerleaders going on out here at the high school. They must be having homecoming. And you will be coming home. Yes, you will. Let's see what's going on. We're almost there. Let's see what's going on down here. Let's see what's going on. What y'all got? Let's see all these new products. Where's all the new Stellantis products? Where are they? Where's all the new stuff? Let's see. Oh, yeah, I'm going to park right there. Park right there. I don't want nobody parking next to me. I'm tired of these people. Yeah, you just back up. They got a fucking van on the line. That's terrible. Hi. Yeah, good. I'm great. Let me just get in here. Oh, shit. I'm going to have to straighten up. It's a tough park. I got to straighten up. Hold on. I'm going to cut this guy off. Yeah, slow the fuck down. Slow the fuck down. Yeah, that's right. Slow down. I'm cutting you off. Slow down. All right. Yeah, I'm getting right up in there. Whee! All right, I just want to look in there, see what's going on, say hi to the people, say hi to my peeps. For the new one? No, absolutely not. I just came in to say hi to Jonathan. Okay. Yeah. I just said absolutely not. You don't have a new one. They'll stop making these engines, bro. Yeah, they don't even make this engine no more. You know, so there isn't a new one. I wanted to see if they had the 4-door Dodge Charger though. The new 4-door Dodge Charger, the 6-pack. I wanted to see if they had that. Because supposedly in your computer you do. But I just wanted to pop in and just take a look. Oh, they got the white Hellcat. Who is this? Yeah, okay, I don't think this should be a problem. If these homeless people, if these handicapped people need to park here, they can just scoot over to the side next to this van. Just don't park next to my Jeep. Not too close. All right. I gotta turn this off because it's freaking music. See what they got in here. Oh, looky here. What's up, guys? How y'all doing? It's the man. It's John. What's going on? John, you got the 4-door stat packs in, right?
I don't have them in yet, but I have them coming.
Oh, that's still coming? Damn. I wanted to see it. Well, where's the gas one coming?
The gas one's behind us.
It's behind us. Oh, all right.
We have in white, Battleship Gray. I just recently bought a bunch.
Showing me, okay, so they got this music playing, so I can't talk too long because they got the music playing. But this is a Canyon Lake Hurricane 1500, and it's got Canyon Lake green. That's the new color, one of the new colors. So, yeah, they got this, what does that say, 64,000, but it's 77,000 with the equipment because it's got that 12-inch screen and everything. So it's got the 12-inch screen right there. And it's got the moon roof. It's got the panel roof, just like my Jeep. And I think it's got the power heated and cooled back, maybe. No, okay, this one's got heated back seats. It doesn't have the cooled back seats. See, this music is so loud. I can't easily, I gotta talk over it. That's pretty cool. Oh, it's got power running board. Or does it? Is that power? Is that power? Yes, it is. All right, that's nice. What we got here? We got the supercharged Ram TRX. I said it a million times. Oh, shit, this is not a TRX. This is a RHO. This one's a RHO. They got the RHO right here. And they got this tungsten Ram right here. And what else we got? I thought this was a TRX. This ain't no TRX. It's got the body kit like the TRX. So as soon as I saw the body, I thought it was a TRX. But no, that's a Hurricane. That's a Hurricane. So you keep looking. So everybody's basically buying like trucks now, you know? It's all about the trucks. Everybody's buying trucks. What are we out here playing football and shit? Okay, if you say so. Wow. So that's the used car lot over there. He said that they didn't get the 4-door Charger yet. So they're still waiting for 4-door Chargers. He told me like he bought a bunch of wide body Hellcats and he got like an army green color. So he said, you know, yeah, if I want to make videos of those, I can make videos of those to show them off to anybody who's still interested trying to buy one of these Hellcats. I think the prices have started dropping. So that's a good thing.
Yo, Mike, should I move up?
Okay, so they're out here playing ball. So, I don't think there's anything really radically new, but he was talking about, he says, yes, the 4xe Jeeps Uh-oh, you might watch that. I don't want that hitting the car. But he's like the 4xe Jeeps had a lot of money off the hood, partially because of the $7,500 tax credit. So they taking a lot off the hood because of that. Let's see if there's anything cool back here. They usually have some cool stuff hiding. But yeah, man, Stellantis already knows what it is. They got to bring back that 6.4. They ain't got no choice. So they're bringing back the 6.4. And as far as Hellcats in these four-door Chargers, I don't know if that's going to happen, so you got to wait to see. What is this? This is a Hurricane. It's another Hurricane. The one thing the Hurricane got that the TRX don't is the massage seats. But I would never buy one of those trucks unless I really needed it. But if I did buy one of those trucks, I'd get the TRX. I'm sorry. I'd have to have the TRX. The Hellcat truck. These are nice tires. Like the tires. But yeah, it's like nothing. Ain't got really much here. It's like, I feel bad. It's like Hemi Muscle when he goes to the what is it called? When he goes to the lots and he's like, yeah, I'm trying to see what's new, and there's nothing new. He used to come here all the time just to play Count the Trackhawks. No more Trackhawks. It's a shame. Stellantis, I don't know what y'all are doing over there. But just understand, Carlos Tavares, if you're listening to this video, if it was up to me, I'd put you in prison longer than they gave Diddy. I'd have you in prison for about 100 months. Diddy got 50 months. I'd give you 100 months for what you did. You dug a hole so deep they can't get out of it. You know, it's all about trucks now. Oh, look at this. It's a Durango SRT there. Oh, that's cool. All right, so I'm pretty much done. I'm getting out of here. Just gonna walk right through. What's that? Oh, it's a what's a Hellcat? No, wait a minute. That don't look like no Hellcat. Something's wrong with that emblem. Oh no, that is the Hellcat. Wonder what's going on here. KD Performance, huh? Yeah, got that Hellcat. Hellcat, there you go. Gotta check and make sure, because some of these people be some faking. They be putting the stickers on, and you pass by, you're like, wait a minute, that ain't no Hell. Oh, look at it. Hellcat right there, Hellcat. Green and red Hellcat. All right. I tell you, I don't care about Scat Packs at all. If it don't have that Hellcat badge, I ain't even looking. What is this? Is this a Hurricane or a TRX? It's a Hurricane. It's all about Hurricanes now. Yeah, here it is. It's all Hurricanes. All Hurricanes. Oh, well. All right, I think I'm about done. All right, so they said it's still going to be some time till the charges come in. So you gotta wait. You just have to wait. It's going to be a long wait. All right, so that said, I'm going to go by dollar store, get me some paper towel and some, what is that stuff called? Windshield fluid. And let me say, disconnecting my battery works perfectly. It's like I bought a battery charger and all that stuff. Turns out all I needed to do was just disconnect the shit and it keeps running just fine. Running just fine. So what I'm gonna do right now, the battery light I see went off. So I'm gonna run over to this dollar store. I'm gonna get some air for the tire. I just gotta find somebody who's got one of those air pressure things. You see, this gas station should have it, but I'm not paying them. I'll go to Mavis. Mavis has it for basically free. There's a Mavis down the block. I'll go to them after I go to the dollar store. All right, let's go, people. All right. So yeah, 29 PSI. And it's fun. These tire pressure monitor systems suck because in general, the way these things are designed, they have a battery in them. So that means that you can't even get to them without taking off the tire. It also means that if one of them dies, all of them are going to die because they're batteries. So if you put all 4 batteries in brand new, then they all have roughly the same lifespan. So that means if one goes, all 3 others are going to go. So that happened with my mom and her XT5. Her one of the batteries died in one of her tires, and I warned her. I was like, yeah, if one of them goes, the other ones are going to go. Don't you know, sure enough, it was like 2 weeks later, light comes back on, different tire went. Now, fortunately, they were nice to her, and they gave her a free second job for that first job, because what it is that otherwise you'd have to, schedule 2 different appointments. But then again, you'd end up scheduling 4 different appointments because you got 4 tires. So it's a pain in the ass. It's like, I really wish somebody would figure out a way to do tire pressure monitoring without, the sensors inside the tires. But I guess that might not be possible. Either that, or they'd have to, I don't know. I don't even know how they would do it. I really don't. Either that, or they'd have to have like a device that's piezoelectric, and just by driving, you charge it slowly, and it stays charged instead of having a battery. But I don't even know if that would. I don't even think that would work. I could be wrong. I don't know. Maybe they figure it out. It would be nice if they figured it out. So yeah, nice calm day. I slept so deep this morning. I won't say it was a nightmare, but I had a bad dream, and I thought that shit was real because I couldn't wake up. We got Health and Fitness Becky out here. Health and Fitness Becky is out here getting her health and fitness. I should be out there with her. We should be doing health and fitness. I got Health and Fitness Becky right here. She's doing her health and fitness. What was I saying? Yeah, I had a nightmare. Well, it wasn't a nightmare, but it was a bad dream. And I thought that shit was real. Like I was so deep asleep. I seriously thought that shit was real. Oh, here we go. It's Health and Fitness Becky. Health and fitness. God damn. Health and fitness. So what was I saying? More of these shops, they're selling shit. I don't know what that's about. So anyway, I had a really, really wild dream, and I couldn't even wake up. And I thought the shit was real. And when I got up, it was really, it was relieving, because, I thought I was in serious trouble. So long story short, I dreamed that I was test driving some BMW, and somehow I got into a car accident. It wasn't my fault, but the problem was I was afraid to bring it back to them, because I was like, yeah, these motherfuckers going to try to charge me for the shit. So I said, okay, you know what I'll do? I'll just hold on to it at my house. And then time, for some reason, starts passing, and I was like, I don't think I could take it back, because they're going to try to call the cops, say I stole the shit. But it was just weird. It was just weird. I don't even really test drive BMWs. That's what's so weird about it. It's like, BMW is boring. What is this? Apple Festival, they call it. October 2025, Apple Festival. So strange. Yeah, so there's a dollar store right nearby. I'm gonna get just a couple of little things from the dollar store. I think it's right up here somewhere. There's this too. I'm gonna go to this. Oh, here it is. Dollar Tree. I love shopping at Dollar Tree. I'll give it to you. Whoop, 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 whoop. We got Health and Fitness Maria out here. Maria. ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué, Maria? ¿Por qué? All right, let's go in there. I just need that. I'm gonna wipe this window clean and everything. Yeah. So I got my windows cleaned and just refilled to 35 psi. Holy shit, I'm tired. Alright. Unfortunately, you can't get any music in this goddamn video because otherwise you spend so much time trying to clean the freaking music out of the video with AI scrubbers. Pain in the ass. You know? My thing is, first of all, most of these musicians and artists, they're lucky that anybody even gives a shit about their music at all. They should be happy to have us play their music in our video. They really should. A lot of them, they get like no attention at all until somebody puts music of theirs in their video. SoundCloud fake ass rappers and shit. But anyway, here's what it is. Okay, so we're all good. 34, 34, 30, and 31. That should be fine. Okay. Is that the SRT group? Yeah, battery voltage is low, but that's to be expected. Okay, here we are. Yeah, I just had to clear that code because I get tired of seeing that shit, the tire pressure monitor code. All right, so we're good. So CT4. I honestly just don't see the logic of having a CT4. In fact, I don't see the logic of them changing the name from CTS to anything else. They should have just kept it the CTS and made one size of car. Either that or made a coupe version. But I just don't get it. It couldn't make more sense to have a small version and a large version. It makes more sense to reduce the number of parts. That SRX right there. But I guess Cadillac must know what they're doing there. They're kicking Mercedes' ass. Comes to these electric cars, they're kicking BMW's ass too. Good for them. You got a charger up there. I wonder, is that a Hellcat? Doesn't look like it. I can't. No, it's not. And even if it, nah, it's a regular one. All right, let's slow to a stop. Yeah, this chick right here, man, that car looks like it's struggling. It's like somebody hit a door and shit. Somebody hit a door. That car's been through the struggle. Somebody is listening to all. Oh, that's me. I thought somebody listening to all about the Benjamins. I'm listening to all about the Pentiums. I thought that was somebody else. Can't believe they got old Puff Daddy, man. They got Puff Daddy. God damn. They gave old Puff Daddy 4 years. Damn. really much going on out here today. Maybe tomorrow will be better. Go buy that car meet, cars and coffee. Doesn't seem like much going on out here. Look at this guy. It's like, bro, you got a V6 Jeep, boy. I know you ain't trying to race nobody. What are you doing? What are you doing? No, that's one of those limited X models. You ain't racing nobody in that damn shit. Man, I can't wait. We got, what is it? Today is October 4th. 1 month from today, it's Mom Donnie. Mom Donnie. Mom Donnie. He's swearing in, Mom Donnie. Man, these people gonna go crazy. I heard that idiot Bill O'Reilly. Oh, yeah, well, people don't want Mom Donnie. They're getting ready to move out of New York. Yeah, to where? Where you gonna move? There ain't no place to move. Anybody who was planning to move is moving. Everybody else is going to be right here. What are you talking about? Hey, yeah, oh yeah, you're going to have to move out to Long Island. Or you're going to have to move up to Whitestone because it's very expensive up there. I don't know how you're going to afford it. That's right, you're not going to afford it. You're not going nowhere. Curtis fucking Sliwa, that moron. Man, I can't wait till Mom Donnie get in there. I already told, like, the women I know, I told them I'm going to buy them a hijab for Christmas, and I'm going to get them some of the, you know, male members of the family. I said I'm going to buy them prayer rugs. I ain't joking. Mom Donnie! This guy's got an Impala. It's too bad those Impalas didn't have four-wheel drive. They might have lasted a little bit longer. Having a grand opening here of Free Tay Press. I have no idea what they sell. But it's a grand opening of something. I don't know. Oh, it's catering. Oh, okay. Yeah, so it's a grand opening, catering, Free Tay Express. So if you're in the New York, Long Island area, I don't know if you need some catering done, maybe you could check them out. Seems cool enough, right? I'm trying not to hit this guy. Apparently, he wants to get flattened. So you come out there. Oh, there's a Cadillac Lyric in white. That's nice. I'm gonna park right here at the edge. Just go into the store and get something. Yeah. All right. Touch of Italy in Baldwin. A touch of Italy. So as you can see, this video has a lot of Italian food in it. I was asked by my girlfriend to get some pizza. So I said, okay, fine, I'll get you some pizza. She likes this type right here. I don't like that one. It's too much, like, salad's cool, but I like my salad separate. But she asked for it, so I'm gonna go get it for her. And he's making it, heating it up or whatever. But yeah, a whole lot of Italian food in this video right here. So it's a nice restaurant. It's a nice restaurant. It's very nice, very nice, very nice, very nice. Yeah. Do you have any games on your phone or not?
No, I don't. Sorry. That's what you see. Okay, go.
To be continued.